everybody wants to watch him. Even Eddie Hearn from the UK wants to fly down, and Boots Ennis from Philadelphia wants to see it front row in person and be in awe. I urge you to stay home and watch from your TV set live on the Zone. I urge you to stay home.
Stay home? Stay home. That's what you urge Eddie Hearn and Jaron Boots Ennis to do. You want them to stay home. The guy that you want to fight next, right? The prospective opponent, assuming you beat Erickson Lubin, which is no guarantee, you're telling them, you're encouraging them to stay home. Yeah, that sounds like somebody who wants to fight.
Hello guys, this is Rolly Romero.
Yo, my name is Nonito Donaire. What's up guys, Designer's Eyes.
We're here with Bob Santos Boxing.
And I rock with Dr. Boxing Talk.
I want to give a quick shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk.
And I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk. Thank you for all the love, thank you for all the support.
You're rocking with Dr. Boxing Talk. Get your daily news from my man right here, the best in the business. Let's get it, baby.
All day, baby.
Amen.
Bam!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you'll say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. You know we're here with some more news, baby. The hottest news, you know what I'm talking about? BTF rise up, because we have some something to talk about, man. And you know, we have this wonderful fight, you know, for the WBC interim belt at the 154-pound division, which is the hottest division in boxing, in my personal opinion. And this fight is going to be between Vergil Ortiz and Erickson the Hammer Lubin, man. Great fight, you feel what I'm saying? And obviously, we're looking forward to what comes next, assuming that Vergil Ortiz wins. And that's a pretty strong assumption, because Erickson the Hammer Lubin is not somebody to just omit or put to the side or disregard, right? This is going to be a great fight. I'm not sure Vergil Ortiz is going to win. I'm leaning towards Vergil Ortiz. You know, I like Vergil Ortiz. I like Erickson the Hammer Lubin too. You know what I'm saying? My Haitian brethren, you know, Haitian American brethren from Florida, just like me. So, you know, I'm talking about Sapase to Erickson Lubin. You feel me? But I'm just thinking that Vergil Ortiz, the momentum that he has right now, you know, I know he didn't have the best performance against Serhiy Boachuk. He got dropped twice, but it was an entertaining, competitive fight. Some people thought he lost, but it was a good fight, you know. And then he fought Israel Madrimov. These are pretty good competition. But like I said, Erickson the Hammer Lubin, he's no slouch either, right? You know, not to mention that he's been in there with some high caliber guys like the current WBC champion Sebastian Fedora. He's been there with Jamel Charlo, former undisputed champion at 154 division. He's also just beat an undefeated fighter, Ardra Holmes, and before that he fought another undefeated fighter in Jesus Ramos. So you know, this is his third undefeated fighter in a row, if I'm not mistaken, right off the top of my head. So he's been on a pretty good streak as well. So shout out to Erickson the Hammer Lubin. I'm just leaning towards Vergil Ortiz. I think he's gonna be I think he's gonna come out victorious, but this is a very 50-50 fight, and well, in my opinion, I think it's a 50-50 fight. No, I would say more so like 55-45 in favor of Vergil Ortiz. For your listening pleasure, we are now on Spotify under Dr. Boxing Talk. The same thing on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything. Dr. Boxing Talk, man. Come rock with us. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. But it's a good fight nonetheless. However, we anticipate that Vergil Ortiz comes out victorious, and in the scenario in which he does, right, we want to see him versus Eddie Hearn promoted fighter Jaron Boots Ennis, right, the WBA interim champion at the 154-pound division. We've been wanting this fight, Boots versus Ortiz, for a long time, and I don't even care whose side you're on, because they're both great fighters, both phenomenal fighters. Jaron Boots Ennis is undoubtedly more accomplished, right? He's unified at 147 and the Ring Magazine belt holder at 147 formerly, right, and now he's moving up. Vergil Ortiz hasn't had a belt yet. His biggest accomplishment so far is the fact that he's an interim champion, and that's cool, whatever. I just want these gentlemen to fight, man. But when I hear Oscar say things like this,
is Vergil Ortiz looking so great, they're gonna call off the fight,
it makes me a whole lot less confident that they really want the fight. Despite what they're saying, do I think Vergil Ortiz wants to fight? Of course, I believe that Vergil Ortiz, what's not to like about Vergil Ortiz? But it just seems very suspicious that he has never been in a title fight at 147, never been in a title fight at 154. His first two fights at 154 was against Frederick Lawson and Thomas Delorme. So everybody is focusing on Jaron Boots Ennis having one tune-up fight at 154. Vergil Ortiz had two. You see what I'm saying? So I just want this fight to happen, but I'm just not too confident that it's gonna happen. And Oscar De La Hoya, his whole body language and what he's saying, he's basically telling you that, hey man, this fight's not gonna happen. Stay home. He said, hey, Eddie Hearn, don't fly from the UK. Boots, don't fly from Philly. The fight's not happening. You see what I'm saying? He tried to say it in a little slick way, in a slick manner, but we hear you, bro. And if that's not good enough, check out what Robert Garcia, who's Vergil Ortiz's trainer, says.
There's Boots is not going to fight. Boots is not going to fight Vergil next. He's going to show up. Why didn't they call us up and invite us to his fight 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever he just fought recently? You come to ours, we go to yours, we promote the fight. That would have been the perfect idea to do.
You want an invitation? Like, you see how they're talking out of both sides of their mouth? Oh, you missed it? I got you. He said that if they really wanted to fight, they would have invited Vergil Ortiz to his last fight against Weisma Lima. But then he also said that, yeah, Boots is coming on his own accord. So if you really wanted to fight, why did you show up on your own accord? Why do you need to be extended an official invitation? What do you want, a letter through the mail? You want somebody to give you a phone call, show up at your door and tell you to come to the fight? The person that wants to fight is flying out from the comfort of their own home, from the comfort of their own country, if you're talking about Eddie Hearn, and he's coming here. They're both coming here to your fight. You should be happy about that. It's not complaining that you didn't get an invitation to the last one. Why didn't you go? To me, the fact that you did not go or make an effort to show up screams that you don't really want the fight. Now, of course, the flip side of that, I'm very fair. I think Robert Garcia is one of the best trainers in the boxing game. You see what I'm saying? Robert Garcia, Vergil Ennis, and Bomac. They're all doing a phenomenal job with their multiple champions and their deep stable, right? But let's be honest, bro. If you wanted the fight, you would have made the trip there. If you're saying that them not wanting the fight is an indication, or them going to the fight is somehow an indication that they don't really want the fight. They're just trying to show out for the media. Like, come on, bro. Now, like I said, on the flip side, I will give Robert Garcia, because I do like him, the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's saying that he doesn't want to waste his time, and he's saying that these guys are wasting their time by coming and they're just pump faking. But I'm sorry, the person that's spending, unless you're sponsoring the trip, unless Oscar De La Hoya is sponsoring the trip, unless Golden Boy Promotions is sponsoring the trip, then it doesn't really make sense for them to put out money to pretend like they want to call out somebody and show up to a fight. So like I said, you can always be skeptic. You can always be skeptical, and think that, oh, this doesn't really make sense or whatever. I don't understand. Or I'm just calling their bluff. They're just bluffing. But not too many people are putting out money to bluff, no matter how rich you are, especially playing tickets and going out your way, not mentioning the time away from your home. Like, come on, bro. But it just doesn't make sense. Like I said, it just doesn't scream, it just doesn't make me confident that they're actually looking for this fight. I'm not sure. I always had doubts that the fight would happen next anyway, but now you have a big potential roadblock in Erickson the Hammer Lubis. No guarantee that he beats him. But I do think that, from my perspective, Jaron Boots Ennis wants to fight. Team Boots Ennis wants to fight more than Team Vergil Ortiz. I'm not saying Vergil Ortiz himself doesn't want to fight. I'm not saying Boots doesn't want to fight. What I am saying is, though, I don't care what Boots is saying. I don't care what Vergil Ortiz is saying. I don't care what the trainers are saying, Bozy or Robert Garcia. I want to hear from Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya. Y'all sit y'all punk asses down and make a deal, man. Because now y'all have two fights. Not now. Y'all been had two fights that are potentially huge that y'all not making, man. Y'all keep sloughing and pussyfooting. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Eddie Hearn has Ja Pataya. Eddie Hearn has Jaron Boots Ennis. Oscar De La Hoya has Zurdo Ramirez. Oscar De La Hoya has Vergil Ortiz. Why aren't these fights happening, man? Why aren't you making it crystal clear and elaborating on why these fights aren't happening? Just stop pretending, man. Tell us why these fights are happening. No, forget that. Don't tell us why these fights are happening. Make the fights. Tell us that these fights are happening. You see what I'm saying? Iron out the particulars. So get right with the logistics. Come back and provide us with solid information, solid evidence that you all are collaborating and bringing us two of the biggest fights in boxing. That'll be Zurdo Ramirez at cruiserweight versus Ja Pataya at cruiserweight, and Vergil Ortiz at junior middleweight versus Jaron Boots Ennis at junior middleweight, assuming Vergil Ortiz handles his business against Erickson the Hammer Lubin, and assuming that Ja Pataya handles his business against Hussein Sankara. I appreciate y'all rocking with me as always. Don't forget to smack that like button and let me know what you think about that in the comments, man. I appreciate you. Are you confident that the fight's gonna happen? Because I'm not. Let me know in the comments and maybe you can convince me. Most importantly, remember, with God we can do anything. Without God we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.